We are well into the new year and it's getting close to that time again. It's time to start thinking about how much real estate property taxes you will pay this year. How that will be determined is figuring out what the value of your property was as of January 1, 2024. This applies to property owners in Georgia. If you own real estate in another state outside of Georgia, the effective date will probably be different. This value will be important because if you go through Georgia's tax appeal process, you will be able to lower that value, then lock it in by freezing it for 3 tax years. The tax freeze I refer to is applicable to any real estate in Georgia. If you live outside of Georgia but own real estate in Georgia, you are eligible to get that property tax freeze for any Georgia property. You don't have to be a resident to take advantage of the tax freeze, but the property has to be in Georgia. But to get that, you have to file a tax appeal and go through the process. The start of tax appeal season varies from county to county in Georgia. In other states, property tax appeal season starts on a designated date used throughout the state. In Georgia, it's a bit more confusing with the start dates. It's a bit scattered. The early counties in Georgia that I track start issuing annual notice of assessments, the PT-306, in early April. The late counties I track send out annual assessment notices as late as July. To get ahead of tax appeal season, call your tax assessor's office and make sure the mailing address for every property you have is correct in their system. It's possible they will have the correct mailing address on one property, but an incorrect address on another. Alternatively, in the larger counties, you can verify your mailing address online through the county's real estate online database. Either way, you don't want your annual assessment notice mailed to the wrong address. Next, find out when they will mail out your annual assessment notice. Even if they don't have a specific date for you, they can at least give you a general time frame so you can be on the lookout for it. Again, you should expect to receive one annual assessment notice for each property you own. If you have properties in multiple counties, find out when the assessment notices will go out for each county. Remember, the issue dates will be different from county to county. At this point, you can pause this video to find your county on my spreadsheet. I use it to track when assessment notices are mailed out, and I also use it to track the 45-day deadline to appeal. In the spreadsheet, you will see the 2023 dates and deadlines. I use those dates to estimate when the 2024 assessment notices will be sent out. As time gets closer, I update my spreadsheet to actual 2024 dates when it's confirmed. Keep in mind, there is no guarantee any county will choose the same date as the previous year. But I've found that most counties use similar time frames from year to year. The next thing I advise property owners to do is to start making a list of your DDDs, the defects, deficiencies, and deferred maintenance that your property has. Unless your property is brand new, remodeled, or renovated, there is always something you can find that helps lower the assessed value. It's best to start writing that list now. DDDs can include aging, outdated, and worn fixtures and appliances, as well as HVAC units. Your list could include an older roof or worn exterior siding. Your flooring and carpet may not be in good condition. Your property may not look ideal and require paint and repairs to both inside and outside the property. The potential list of things that fall into DDDs is very long, so start paying attention and looking at your property more closely and more critically. Speaking of being critical, my cat Jaggy really wants me to ask you to swipe that like button to help spread this video to more property owners. And if you hit that subscribe button, I will make sure he gets a special treat. Now, if you have commercial property or residential property with more than 3 units, you have some extra homework to do. It doesn't matter whether you file your own tax appeal or hire it out. You will be asked to provide the same thing as part of the tax appeal process. You will be asked to provide at least 2 years of profit and loss statements. There is a good chance you will be asked to provide a third year, depending on your situation and what your tax assessor's office wants. Another report you will be asked to provide is a rent roll report from those years. I don't want you to be nervous about this. I understand that many of you will not necessarily have all this information right now. This is why I made this video, to give you a head start of what to expect in the months to come. When you file a tax appeal on a commercial property, the tax assessor's office wants to know how much income your property generates and its expenses. The net income is an important factor used to calculate the value of your property. It's not the sole factor, but it is a very important one. Your bookkeeper or accountant should be able to provide these reports to you as part of their professional service. An important resource I think will help you in your upcoming property tax appeal is my book, Tax Freeze: How to File and Win Property Tax Appeals in Georgia. I'm very proud of this book. It's the only one of its kind written specifically for homeowners, smaller real estate investors, and the average citizen to read and understand. It's available on Amazon and costs less than $10 for the Kindle ebook version. But if you prefer a print version, it's also available for a higher price. Either way, you will get more than your money's worth by using the information in my book. I will provide a link in the description below. If you commit to going through the tax appeal process and do your part, you can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year in property taxes. And there are no filing fees. I encourage all property owners in Georgia to take advantage of the tax appeal process. The bigger the property, the larger the savings. A lawyer emailed me the other day to thank me for my information. He was going to save his client $11,000 per year for his client's commercial property. I was happy to hear this. Not only that, he will lock in that savings for 3 tax years. It's really astounding. If you have a house, the annual savings won't be as dramatic, but it can still be quite significant by saving a few $100s per year. To me, it's well worth the effort. Here's a fun fact. Do you know that in most Georgia counties, less than 1% of all properties are ever tax appealed? And in larger counties, only 5% of properties are ever tax appealed. And do you know why? Most property owners don't know about this, and no one is teaching the average citizen. The only people who get formal training are the government employees. For everyone else, you have to fend for yourself and hear about it from word of mouth. As I make this video, I am hard at work on a master course called Ultimate Tax Freeze: Mastering and Winning Georgia Tax Appeals. It goes beyond the book, and I can provide you resources that I can't do in a book. For example, my master course will include at least 40 educational videos. The videos cover both specific and broad topics of what you can expect in a Georgia tax appeal. In this course, I will be including both sample and real documents that I have, Microsoft Word letter templates I use, real photos taken from properties I've inspected, helpful charts and diagrams, and hyperlinks to hard-to-find resources. If you've never done a tax appeal before, you will feel like you are drinking water from a fire hose. But the good news is that the tax appeal system was designed for the average citizen to use. I provide a lot more depth and explanation in the master course. I also share my tips, tactics, and strategies to win my tax appeals. I will also share sensitive information relating to the tax appeals process in different tax appeal offices that I couldn't share in a YouTube or in a book. I will have more information to share about my master course in early April of 2024. If you want to be notified, subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my Substack. I will provide the links in the description below for you. In the meantime, check out this next video where I explain the process of how to freeze your property taxes in Georgia. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.